What's up, y'all? It's Shuffle, and today we're going to do a quick guide to all bosses. This is just going to be a couple sentences on how to beat each boss, and hopefully we can get this done in under 5 minutes. Necromancer. He's very vulnerable to movement, and stuns do pretty well against him as well. Just make sure your team has some kind of reach all the way back to rank 4. Prophet. Bring Holy Water and Anti-Venom, and make sure you have some other person that can heal besides your main healer. The two best strategies are to either spam guards or use something that lowers damage output like Weakening Curse and Intimidate. Against the Hag, just make sure to bring something that does a lot of high burst damage, either Grave Robber using Fate and Shadow Lunge or Hellion or Bounty Hunter. It's best to usually ignore the pot and have a healer that can heal from anywhere on the field, and then the rest of your team has to be able to hit rank 3. Brigand Pounder. Make sure you have at least 3 people that can reach the matchman in case he decides to dodge or you just low roll on your damage. Then prepare for one very long and boring fight. Siren. Bring one Antiquarian that's 1 or 2 levels lower because her targeting is usually influenced by your lowest hero's debuff resist. It isn't guaranteed that she'll take Antiquarian, but Antiquarian is someone that can dodge her consistently if she has to. And if she does get scooped, then she has very low combat effectiveness. Crew. Make sure to juggle your damage between the Anchorman and the crew itself depending on who has the prot buff. Try to stun the Anchorman when it's the one with the buff, and then burn the boss down when it's at 25%. Swine Prince. Try and have 2 answers to the mark mechanic, some combination of Flare, Guard, Aegis, Suffer, or Sandstorm. Avoid doing any damage to Wilbur or killing him outright, because if you do so, Swine King is going to get very mad and start doing a lot of damage to you instead. Flesh. This boss can do a lot of damage because it has dot cleaves both in the front and the back, so make sure you have solid healing output and holy water. All 4 pieces share the same HP, so that makes cleaves and damage over time incredibly effective. Collector. It helps if you can stun him on turn 1, otherwise mark damage or some kind of team that has a lot of reach is very good against him. You should only kill the heads if they're a threat to you, especially the Highwayman, otherwise just burn down the boss. Shambler. Have some kind of plan to deal with the Clapper Claws because that is the hardest part of the fight. Stuns are also very effective against the Clappers so they don't power up too quickly. Against Shambler itself, Mark and Armor Piercing are both very good strategies. And a couple classes that are specifically very good against Shambler are Abomination because of Rake Spam and Highwayman because of his reach and ability to move around and get riposte. If you're going to pop Shambino from the altar, make sure to scramble your party beforehand. For Volf, Shieldbreaker and Flagellant are both very good just because they can do a lot of damage over time against him. Even though he's in rank 3, you can still use his guard against him and project that damage into the backline. They also have very strong survivability tools in the form of Exsanguinate, Redeem, and Aegis. And both of them are so good in this fight, you can take them both and they won't step on each other's toes. Once you have the damage question answered, just bring a healer and man-at-arms, that way your team is very protected. Shrieker. Do your best to stack as much accuracy as possible. Make sure to bring medicinal herbs to cleanse the accuracy debuff. Holy Water helps you resist everything that it's about to do because it lasts the entire fight, but make sure to bring a couple bandages just in case. You have 3 ways to handle this fight. The first one is to just survive as long as possible until Shrieker flies away. The second is to kill the nest as quickly as possible so Shrieker flies away. And the third one, which is why you need so much accuracy, is because you're going to focus down Shrieker and kill it. The best ways to kill it within 4 turns is to either stack heavy bleeds on your team so that way it's taking a bunch of damage over time, or use Mark. Crocodilian. As long as you can push it into rank 4 or pull it up into rank 1 when it's in the middle so it can't use Submerge right after using Lurking Fear, you're going to be fine. The reason this works is because if it can't use Submerge, since it's in rank 1 or 4, it can't use Apex Predator right after, which is the biggest threat in the fight. Because you can disrupt it by pushing it around, bringing Shieldbreaker or Bounty Hunter are both very good choices. Baron. Bring some kind of hypercarry unit like Hellion or Leper. Target the egg in rank 2, so the second one from the left. If you're lucky enough the Baron's going to pop out of there, then you just burst him down as hard as you can. If it's one of his other minions like a Sycophant, then just kill that. Otherwise the goal is to burn Baron down as quickly as possible, so make sure you can juice up whatever your hypercarry is with camp skills and buffs. Crimson Curse is also very good here, so make sure that your hypercarry is at Craving by the time the fight starts so you can Bloodlust him on turn 1, and then drink a blood on the following turn so you get even more bonus damage. If you do this correctly, you're not going to have to worry about healing because Baron's going to be going into the next phase after 1 turn every single time that he comes up. Viscount. Kill the second body, then the first body, then the third body, then kill Viscount. You can burst him down too, but that's pretty dangerous. Countess. Bring Man-at-Arms and some kind of hypercarry like Leper or Hellion. Put move resist on the entire team so they can't get pushed around by Sway with me. Then make sure to guard your primary damage dealer the entire time so they're not targeted by Love Letter. Just like the Baron, it helps to have the Crimson Curse so you can go Bloodlust and then just go to town on Countess. Guard and Guardian. Bring someone that can pierce armor and then give him Sculptor's Tools. Mark also does pretty well too. Make sure to kill the spear, then the body, then the shield. Think from the stars. Armor piercing is the most consistent way to do it, but you can also use Mark. Just make sure you can do a bunch of damage right at about 50% so you can make phase 2 of the fight as short as possible because that's when it gets super powered. Miller. Make sure to bring some combination of guard break, stun, riposte, dodge, or Mark. Sleeper. It helps to have some reach for phase 1 and then a lot of burst for phase 2. Riposte is pretty good against cleaves. Shuffling Horror. It's Shambler but without the clappers or darkness. Make sure to bring a team where at least 2 people can move around easily. Templars. Bring any kind of big damage strategy like Leper, Hellion, or Mark, and then have a guard for the one person that can't bring a talisman. Mammoth Cyst. Make sure to kill the white cell stalk on its second turn of life to prevent your party from getting teleported. Do damage on the cyst when you don't have to kill the stalk. Final boss. Just about everything works on it, so as long as you have a healer, you should be fine. Fanatic. Just don't fight him. Alright, let's get into it for this one. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you check out the box below for all the social media stuff, and make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Okay, thanks, bye.
Please clap.